Okay. Good morning, sir. We are live today.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. We'll first start with those questions which are already asked to us. Uh, Rahul Talian has asked, can any assessor discuss about a particular candidate before the conference?
No, I have not understood the question properly.
It is generally seen that all three GTO site and interviewing officer meet in conference and deliberate upon their findings in for a particular candidate. He is asking before the conference, is there any chance that they meet and discuss?
No, they will meet, they will give meeting on a regular basis, but they will not discuss any candidate. No chance. That they will not do because this is a very professional thing. And we understand that this discussion has to be done only in the conference. When all the three are there, and you see, we call the conference as the fourth technique. Because you see each technique has got few shortcomings. Like for example, I have been an interviewing officer, so I know very clearly that physical courage is something which I will not be having as good a knowledge as GTO will have, because he will have concrete evidence. He would have seen the student perform, candidate perform in the physical stuff and all that, you know. So I am benefiting from his assessment in that technique. Similarly, there are other issues like so many things about a person's past background and all that. That thing is not known to the GTO, which will be, of course, that GTO does before command task. He does some chit chat and all that, and he finds out. It's a sort of a mini interview he does, but it is not that elaborate information that he has that an interviewing officer will have, which may determine certain aspects why a person is behaving. His background, environment, and all that would be playing a role. So it's a very professional thing. We will not be discussing any candidate outside of the conference area, neither before nor after. We'll just once the conference is done, it's over. Thing is finished.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Ujjaval Sharma has asked, he had asked in one of the comments in the YouTube, uh, when I see a picture, no idea comes to my mind. So please tell me how to get idea to write a sensible and good story.
See, all of you, I don't know, we grew up, reading Phantom comics, and we saw silent movies of Charlie Chaplin. So all of us could interpret. I never found anybody who could not interpret what what the picture is trying to tell the story. So that ability all of us have. So if you think you don't have that ability, I mean that's not. I can't believe that. What generally is happening is that most of us are trying to put too much of pressure on ourselves to do a great job. And that is what is causing most of the problems. I keep seeing the stories of so many of our students. I mean, all of our students of No Frills Academy, I read their stories and all, and I see. And sometimes very simple pictures, people have interpreted it correctly, but they want to shy away from talking about the things which they have interpreted. So that is why we get into these problems, because of this ultra positive thinking and all that is to be brought in from learned from coaching academies and from various places. You people learn all this stuff, so you get these kind of problems. So what you have to do is just interpret as to what the picture is trying to tell you. Each picture tells you a story. Interpret that, whatever. You don't have to get bothered whether your interpretation is what do you call is is convergent with that of others or not. You don't have to bother at all. Whatever you have interpreted, uh, understand that thing well and write a story around that. I mean, each picture will have some issue. Let us say now that, there two persons are talking. So you can construe that the younger person is, asking some problem from his senior and trying to get the thing resolved. So how he gets the resolution and then moves ahead with his life successfully, that is a simple interpretation, and you can write story around that. And if you make the senior person as the main character, then you can write that how the senior person could help this younger person to get success. So both these kind of stories would be okay. So it is as simple as that. So there are no complications. Please interpret it properly, whatever is shown, and don't get bothered about the negative business. And the main character should be resolving the problem which you observe in the picture. Now, some of you come up with an idea. I've been listening to the students who say that, let us say the four persons are showing having a cup of tea in a restaurant and they're just relaxing. I mean, there's nothing much happening. So how do you write a story around that? So thing is that if four persons have met in a restaurant, they're having a cup of tea, you can easily interpret from their age and all as to they could be having some agenda. Like, let's say if your age group people are meeting, you could be having an agenda of how to go about writing the CDS or AFCAT exam and thereafter preparing for SSB. So you discuss that and you evolve a plan, and then you get success. So that becomes a story. Similarly, I just gave this example of SSB. It could be anything. You could be planning for a quiz competition. You could be planning for a sports competition, or you could be planning to, I mean, XYZ anything. So you can easily write stories in this manner around one main character. Why one main character? Because time is not there to build stories around multiple characters. And the main character is the one who does the main thing, resolves the problem. So that is how it is so simple. There are not very many complications. I hope you have been able to understand that point. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Uh, Aditya Bharti has asked, sir, how to practice GTO tasks which involves Patabali plan, means where he is staying, how to do all that.
First thing is it really required to be done? It is not a major issue. It is the problem starts with the outlook that you have. The outlook which most people have, and that is the creation of these coaching academies, websites, and past students who have gone through all these things, is that you look at SSB as three things, and somehow you have to prepare yourself and manipulate your way through without affecting any changes in yourself. So with that mindset, these questions come up. If I say again, which I repeatedly keep saying, that if you are overall a competent person and you do not even know the full form of SSB, you know nothing what is going to happen there, and you go for SSB, you will get recommended because you are overall competent, and that is what the the testing technique is designed to check. Now, keeping that as a background, when you get into the Balli Phatta task, it is in the series of the GTO series. See, initially you have two discussions are there. There, your general awareness, your understanding of the social problems, your communication skills, your ability to influence the group, all that get revealed. Thereafter, we come to the group planning exercise. In that, what happens is that now your theoretical knowledge is of little consequence. Your practical sense comes more into play because the theoretical knowledge is not going to be of much use here. because practical problem is posed now. So more of your effective intelligence will get used there. So that aspect is getting checked. When you come to the Balli Patta task, uh, only for your practical abilities, how quick you are to interpret things, handling practical things in life, those aspects get revealed, and that's what the agenda is. Now, uh, but still, okay, fine that you want to be good and comfortable in this GTO task. So now, at the moment, see, in our time, no such thing was available. We never had any Balli Patata availability or somebody who has access to GTO task and all that possible, some officer's child or somebody. But normally it was not. So I would say that other than who have gone to coaching academy, they would not be knowing these things. Like I was one of those. So we are going quite blank. So when the PGT starts, that time we are not knowing as to what is going on. So by this is 40 minutes are there for PGT. It's a considerable time. So as somebody would have some idea, or if nobody has any idea, then by trial and error, we are trying to do something. And as the task progresses, we will start developing an idea as to what this cantilever bridge is being, how it is being made, why the patta is the most suitable, helping material which will help you cross obstacles, bridging the gaps, that is, and how securing one end of the plank is the crux to resolving most of the issues of crossing the obstacles. So further, when you get HGT, you get further scope because persons have become less. So I mean, your abilities are getting exercised, and they're of a similar nature. So by the time you come to a command task, you are pretty well, got a good grasp as to how to do it. That's what normally happens. And generally a competent person would be assigned a reasonably difficult command task, and that person will be able to do it also. So this is how it goes. Now thing is, you have got today access to YouTube, in which all these tasks and all so many have been posted. You can have a look there. You can get an idea how the bridging was made, how one end of the plank got secured, or sometimes plank was not the main thing, something else was used. So this way you can gain little more confidence, and that is more than sufficient. The problem is when you are feeling that you want to get an edge in this thing only, which the idea itself is not very sensible, but you want to do it, then you should go to a coaching academy only and do all these things, and then you will feel comfortable. So I do not promote this idea of trying to gain too much of this confidence and all that in this GTO. So it's not required. But then the people keep practicing tying of knots and all that, and they feel it's a big thing, that somebody who can tie knots is, most accomplished in GTO task. You just have to have your practical sense in the right place, which you learn from day-to-day handling of things in life, not by practicing GTO tasks. And you should be reasonably physically fit. Then these things are not posing any serious problem, and you'll get through. That's the agenda. So the focus itself of the student who's asking this question is not very right. That's what I've tried to explain. And the other thing is that if you're not feeling confident, then you can check up these things on YouTube. The information is available. And once again, please don't take it as a big deal issue. It is not at all a big deal issue. And you can keep listening to so many of the interviews of our successful candidates. From that, it will easily get revealed that this thing was not that significant. Yeah, next question.
Yes, sir. Ranjana Saraswat has asked, Sir, I speak very good in lecturate in terms of language. I'm content, but my legs shake while speaking.
Legs shake. It is a thing to do with nervousness, and little bit of nervousness is okay. it is quite human. We are not machines. So what you have to do is you have to gain more practice and experience in public speaking. That is the only thing, and suddenly it is not going to change. Balance to improve your abilities in these aspects is you can go and read our blog on stage fright and presentation nerves, or you can take our book and read not only about this, about confidence building and all that, because all those things also are important aspects of personality development. You can also listen to a very good interview recorded by one of our students, Shalika Rana. It is there on our YouTube channel. You can listen to that, and please post it also in these answers and all, na Yogita, so that it goes to them, so they can refer to it, and it will clarify your mind. One thing is that clarifying mind is okay, but taking pressure and all that, suddenly it is not going to change your outlook. It will slowly improve, and that is how life is. Sudden things. I mean, you don't get quick solutions. It takes time. So be prepared to spend time to gradually improve upon this aspect. It will improve. Yeah. Next question.
Okay. Uh, Tripti Tripathi as well as Abhishek Tripathi has asked, Sir, I am preparing for government exams. I am left with 4 attempts of technical entry. Should I go for SSB coaching or should I keep preparing for my exams?
SSB coaching as such, I do not advise, because it is this 10-15 day coaching is not going to make a serious difference other than acquainting you with the SSB process. That's the advantage you will get. Plus, are major disadvantages that you will get some misguidance about, the stories to write this and all that. I mean, some mental blocks will get created, which will be problematic. So I don't advise that. I would say that you keep preparing for your examinations, and all these examinations would have an element of current affairs also, and written work, language, and all would be coming into play. So that is what will come into play in the SSB as well. And other than thing apart from this is the important aspect here is physical fitness. So that you should devote regular time towards improving your physical fitness, because this aspect is not relevant as far as most of the other examinations are concerned. If you do this, it should work out. Yeah, that's it.
Sandeep Dhaka has asked, Sir, I have a habit of not cutting someone in between while they are speaking, but it hurts my performance in GD. How should I overcome this?
Firstly, if you have this habit of not cutting others when they're speaking, it's a very good habit to have. Please never leave it till you live, because it means you are polite and you are cultured, and this is the right way to behave. The people who are out shouting and cutting others and preventing others from speaking uh, are ill-mannered. This is not the right conduct. So you don't have to change your behavior at all as far as this aspect is concerned. What needs to be remembered or done is that you should be assertive. And being assertive means that being fair to others and also demanding fairness to yourself. So you don't cut anybody. So you are being fair to others. You are being polite and respectful. However, when you are speaking and somebody interrupts and starts speaking in between, that is the time you should be firm and tell this person that I have not finished, I'm still speaking. And that should be good enough. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, sir. Gaurav Negi has asked, how open should I be in front of interviewing officer?
If you attempted suicide ever in your life, then this is something you should hide. Balance, you should be transparent about everything else. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Anonymous person has asked, sir, how can I get rid of fumbling while speaking in public? This does not happen when I am speaking in social media, but only when I talk to someone face to face. So how should I get rid of that?
More and more practice is the answer. There is no shortcut. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Shashank Shekhar Singh has asked, sir, what is the relationship between questions asked in conference and recommendation of a candidate?
No, there is no relationship between selection and questions asked in the conference. Questions generally asked in the conference are just a polite chit chat like how was your stay, how many friends you made, how do you rate your performance, which all places you visited, things like that. They don't mean anything. In case there is a lack of congruence in the assessment of an individual among the three assessors, then situations may get posed. And then the answers given by the candidate are of use to the assessors in getting on to a congruent assessment. So that is what it is. Now, so that means a relationship of getting recommended or not recommended does not exist with the questions being posed in the conference. Let us say you are posed situations and you gave some answer. They are likely to be in, they would be congruent to your personality, the way you are, the way you think. You will be giving such responses. It's just that the assessor's queries will get settled. So it could be selection or rejection, either thing can happen. Just that they will be able to arrive at a consensus assessment. That is the agenda of asking these questions. As far as you are concerned as candidates, please don't take too much of interest in all these things. They are not going to benefit. You just do your job, what is in your hands, and leave the assessment to the experts. That is their job. You do your job, let them do their job. When you try to find too many things about that, it is going to influence your performance. And invariably, the influence would be adverse. It will not be some very, positive advantage that you will accrue to you by getting this kind of knowledge. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir. Nikki has asked, sir, how to improve personality, increase self-belief, and improve understanding in general, as it is not only important for SSPs but also for life.
These are the questions you put them pretty straightforward, but answers will not be that simple. I would only suggest please read our blogs on improving reasoning ability, upon building self-confidence, about improving willpower, about uh, improving your motivation or understanding who you are as a person, what are your driving forces. So you can read these blogs on our website, or you can buy our book, e-form or hard copy. Read about these things, understand them well, and start applying in your day-to-day life. And slowly you will start getting answers. These are all aspects of personality development. And the improvements will take place in an incremental manner, not a revolutionary manner. Suddenly it will not happen. So you will have to read, understand these things, apply them in your lives. That is how, that is what my suggestion is. What you have to take comfort in is that everything can be done. If you have felt that there is something which is not good enough, you can work to improve upon it. And the sequence, as per the questions you have asked, is the first aspect would be to improve your reasoning ability. Reasoning, learning, understanding, knowledge. So once these things improve, they will have a positive influence on your confidence and self-belief also. The relationship is there. So that is how things work. So these are my suggestions. Uh, I mean, your answer was pretty short, so my your question was pretty short, so my answer is also short. But to do the things is not as simple. You have to understand and then implement in a consistent manner, and you will start finding results also coming, but not very soon, but slowly and gradually improvement will take place. I mean, please use our blogs, our book, or even better still, you can enroll for a guidance program, and then you will get benefited through my personal guidance also, apart from reading the stuff. Yeah, thank you.
Last question. Tejas Balhara has asked, Sir, is playing and watching chess acceptable as a hobby?
Anything is acceptable as a hobby. Whatever you like doing is okay. There is the problem.
Okay.
No problem at all. You state it. There are no yardsticks given. If there were yardsticks, they would have spelled out ना कि hobby का definition यही है. ये इतनी हो सकती है, ये नहीं हो सकती है. अब आपका जो hobby है, आप बोलिए. Fine. Don't get hassled about these hobbies and business. If something genuinely is there, say it. If it is not there, don't say it. Don't give fraud hobbies. So any kind of hobby which you like doing, you enjoy it, that's a hobby for you. You can state it. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, sir. One answer I try to answer him at my level, but he is not satisfied. Mazil has asked, Sir, what general awareness? He asked me what how to go about current affairs general awareness. But then he's asking you. So, what kind of general awareness GK should a person be aware of? Like country, states. What should the person read about?
See, you feel overwhelmed when you think of general awareness and what all would come in that. See, you can first is that you place yourself as an Indian person. So, what affects an Indian citizen? Accordingly, should your general knowledge be built around? So, like, thing is that now what is happening in Maharashtra, what just happened, that is of considerable concern. What is happening to India's economy is of great concern. What is happening in Kashmir is of considerable concern. What happened in Ladakh with China and all that is of great concern. What has happened in Ukraine is of a lesser concern. But importance is there because our students were there. They had to come out. Now their medical studies had to be continued in India. Kya ho raha hai uska? Oil prices have gone up. I mean, various things, commodity prices and all have gone up. So to that extent, it becomes relevant. How the global situation is changing because of this war, how China, Russia are getting together and they're tending to get isolated with the meet of G7 and all that. We were called as a guest there. So understanding of these things becomes relevant. So basically, very difficult to identify कि ये टॉपिक कैसा है, बट अगर आप इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट से देखोगे कि मैं हिंदुस्तानी नागरिक हूं और मेरे को कौन सी इंफॉर्मेशन ज्यादा अफेक्ट करती है, कौन सी कम अफेक्ट करती है, उस हिसाब से आपको अपनी नॉलेज बिल्ड करनी ये है. इसमें अब करंट चीजें भी आती हैं, स्टैटिक भी आती है, जैसे ज्योग्राफी हुई, इकोनॉमी की चीज हुई, पास्ट हुआ रिलेशंस विद कंट्रीज एंड ऑल दैट. उस हिसाब से आपको प्लान करके चलना पड़ेगा. ऑल दिस कॉन्स्टिट्यूट्स जनरल अवेयरनेस. या
Yes. Okay, next questions we will take in the next episode on Sunday 10 a.m. Right now we are winding up, and please write to us at nofrills@gmail.com. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Yogita. Thanks a lot.